NCWLIFE Channel Sports is proud to bring you the following presentation.
In easily to score is Byer. Schooler comes out right behind him.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for Youth. Now, live coverage of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Go, go, go!
Here to Dan White Field, and the first pitch of the ball game here in the second game of our doubleheader is hit in the air by Brock Toffness and is an out to left field. So F7 on the putout. That'll bring up the center fielder Ben Kennedy along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Starting lineups brought to you by TC Slingers. Let TC Slingers save you time, money, and labor with their conveyor application. Call for your free estimate today at 509-885-2269. TC Slingers of Wenatchee, your landscape placement company. Brock Toffness was the leadoff man. Now Ben Kennedy steps up, and he'll take a pitch outside. Evens the count to Kennedy at 1-1 strike. The third man in the order for Wenatchee will be DH Connor Christensen. Center fielder Evan Smith will be, the pitcher Evan Smith will be the cleanup hitter. James Butler, the catcher, is the number 5 man in the order. Joe Skyleman, shortstop, will be 6th. 7th, Owen Irvin, the first baseman. Batting 8th will be Matt Butler, the right fielder, and Thomas Ivey in left field will be batting 9th. Kennedy with a count at 2-2 strikes as we're just underway here under cloudy skies and kind of chilly temperatures. And that was 2-2, not 3-2. And so Kennedy will have to retreat back, grab his bat, and head back to the plate. If you're just tuning in, the Eastmont was able to win the opener of this 2-game set 5-0, a swing and a miss here. So Kennedy is gone on strikes, and that's the second out here of the inning. As Michael Singleton is the pitcher here for Eastmont. And so far this season, Brandon, as far as you could tell, nothing happening against him, right?
No, he's got a 1.235 ERA, and he's striking out about one guy every inning that he pitches, and done a really good job with control. It's only walked 4 guys this year. So
2-0 the count to Connor Christensen. The DH in this game. Christensen in the opener went 1 for 3 at the plate. Pitch swung on, and he's going to have a base hit here, if not extra bases. Rounding first, a wide turn by Christensen. Up with the ball is Barrios out there in center field. So a 2-out single to center by Christensen brings up the pitcher, Evan Smith.
that was a great job going the other way with that pitch. Outside pitch there, and didn't try and pull it, just went with it, and found himself a nice line drive there.
You know, it seems so simple, Brandon.
It does seem simple.
Just hit the ball where it's pitched, but it's not that easy.
No, it's not. You know, the tendency is you want to pull everything, because everybody from the time you're in Little League is the guy that pulls the ball is the best hitter. Well, that doesn't come to fruition as the game gets older.
Swing and a miss by Smith on the first pitch to him from Michael Singleton.
You know, kids that are able to have that vision and go with the pitch.
Ball's popped up in the infield.
End up being the best hitters that end up playing.
And Luke Gale's able to make the squeeze over there at first base, and that'll do it for Wenatchee in their part of the first. They get a runner aboard on a base hit. They leave a man. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless so far. You're watching Big Nine Baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, man. How's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today? We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Welcome back once again to Dan White Field. Scoreless for Wenatchee and Eastmont due up next here in the second game of our doubleheader. Wildcats at 7-4 now in Big Nine play, 7-7 overall. The batting order here for the Wildcats, Tice Llewellyn will lead it off. He's the shortstop. Batting second will be center fielder Valente Barrios. Batting third will be third baseman Jet Llewellyn. Batting fourth, the pitcher Michael Singleton. Batting fifth is right fielder Skylar Bryant. Evan Smith, excuse me, that's not Evan Smith. Kyle Smith, there you go, will be batting sixth, the DH. Luke Gale at first base will be batting seventh. Kellen Leonard, the left fielder, will be batting eighth. And batting ninth is Carter Heimbigner, the second baseman. Nate Whitehall catching for Eastmont here in the second game of this twin bill. Eastmont winning the opener 5-0 on 6 hits and a bunch of errors in that first game for both sides, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think the last I looked up, there was four for one team and 3 for the other.
So Tice Llewellyn will lead it off here for the Wildcats. He went 1 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader with an RBI. And meanwhile, it's Evan Smith on the mound. Big right-hander's first pitch of the game is a bunt attempt right in front of the mound. Off is Smith. He'll field and throw, and it's in time for the out. Nice job by Smith to scamper after that one on a good bunt by Tice Llewellyn.
Yeah, Evan comes into the game, and believe it or not, he's gone 17 innings without giving up an earned run this year.
Wow.
So
wow,
he's given up some runs, but none of which have been earned. So
okay, all right. One out here for the Wildcats, and Barrios will bunt it. Smith off the mound will field and throw, and safe at first base on the throw, and now they're going to tag the runner who is in foul territory as Barrios is running around out there. But he turned right when he went past the bag, so he's in a safe territory there,
right
in foul territory. If he turns towards the field at all, or makes a play like he's going to turn towards the field,
which is what Coach Irvin's saying here, and I think he has a little bit of an argument because that throw was up the line, so Valente was thinking in his head, hey, I might be able to get second base on this, so maybe took a half a step that way, but that's going to be a judgment call, and both umpires were in good position to make that call. So
throw by Smith took Owen Irvin, the first baseman, off the bag, and so it will be safe at first for Barrios after the discussion. And they will rule that an error on the throw. Jet Llewellyn, meanwhile, will step to the plate here for Eastmont. Jet looking for his first base hit of the day. He was 0 for 3 in the opener. Got aboard once on a walk. And the first pitch to him here is low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Of course, it was Evan Smith, who was playing third base for Wenatchee in the first game of our doubleheader today, and he ran into a little trouble defensively in that 3-run inning for Eastmont on a couple of errors back-to-back on Evan Smith. So I guess not a bad idea if you're Eastmont offensively here to put the bunts down and make him field and throw right away.
Exactly. And you have two guys at the top of the lineup that can run quite well, and they both are very good with back control of getting bunts down. So maybe get yourself a drag bunt base hit and change the start of the game.
Swing and a miss here by Llewellyn evens the count to him at 1-1 strike. Again, Evan Smith on the mound. James Butler, the catcher. That's your battery here for Wenatchee. And this pitch misses low for ball 2. 2-1 to Jet Llewellyn. Yeah, you got positioning here for postseason potential for both of these teams. There's only, 5-6 games left after this second game of the doubleheader today. This pitch swung on and hit in the air to center field. It's going to drop down in front of the center fielder for a base hit. So down to second goes Barrios, who was actually running before the pitch came home. And with the single to center by Llewellyn, that brings up the pitcher, Michael Singleton.
You know, you were talking about the last 6 games for both of these squads, and Eastmont goes to play against West Valley, who's one of the top teams, and Wenatchee goes to play against Moses Lake. So both series next week are just
huge.
Yeah.
Huge. First pitch here swung on and fouled away to Singleton, 0-1 to count. Michael, in the first game of the doubleheader today, was 0 for. He did get aboard on an error and scored a run. In fact, he scored Eastmont's first run of the game, which would prove to actually be enough for Colin Bapst on the mound. This pitch is fouled away as well, and the count 0-2 here on Singleton.
They're getting close to that territory over there we talked about earlier, where we can't really see it, but still exists over there.
So down behind the first base dugout, the fence line kind of juts back and then goes down the right field line. So that's what we're talking about as far as an area that we can't see from behind home plate. And really, you know, you got a 2-man umpiring crew here. They got to be careful. Your field umpire, your base umpire, has got to be able to see back over there as well.
Right. Yeah, and there's some tricky plays that end up happening over there too on an overthrow, and typically, if you throw it over the my goodness, I drew a blank here. If you throw it over the dugout, it's typically a dead ball.
This ball jumps up off the glove of the third baseman, and so everybody is safe.
But in this situation, you know, there's things called the field rules, and in this situation, the field rules say that you can throw it up and over this dead zone. So that's different than most ballparks.
Ball 8 up Ryan Rainbow over there at third base. So now the bases are loaded for Eastmont. Brings up right fielder Skylar Bryant. Eastmont a chance to do some damage here in the first frame. Pitch on the way, curveball missing high and inside for ball 1 to Skylar from Evan Smith.
He kind of threw that elbow out like we were talking about in the first game, didn't he?
He did. He did. All right, I'll take that.
He's a football player.
Skylar back in the right-handed batter's box, and the pitch by Evan Smith on the way to the plate is a curveball swung on, a hit hard but fouled, just barely foul. About a foot outside the base at third, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Inning began on a bunt attempt by Tice Llewellyn. He was thrown out. Valente Barrios over at third base now. Got aboard on an error of the pitcher on another bunt. This pitch swung on a miss, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bryant. He was behind that fastball. Jet Llewellyn got aboard on a base hit to center, and then Michael Singleton with a error on the third baseman aboard at first base.
You were mentioning Michael scoring that first run in the last game. That was on Skylar Bryant's double.
This pitch swung on and missed, and he is out with the bases loaded. So a strikeout, a big out here for Evan Smith, and that's 2 down. And this would be a magic act if he could wiggle off this hook.
Yeah, it would.
Kyle Smith will step up the DH here for Eastmont.
He had a really good game last game.
Pitch is in the dirt outside. Beautiful stop by James Butler. Keep everybody right where they are. 1-0 the count.
Kyle was 2 for 3 in that first game and made the most of his first performance this year.
Yeah, and it was, you know, you look at what he did at the plate, and hard to believe that that's the first time he's been able to get in and bat.
Right.
This pitch is a strike on the outside corner called. Nathan Hall, by the way, behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Dan Kulik is out there on the base paths, our 2-man crew here. The 1-1 pitch on the way by Smith is a curveball, strike called, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, that broke about 3 feet.
That did.
Started off on the hip pocket of Kyle Smith. Can Evan Smith get out of the jam here? Pitch on the way to the plate is a little bit low. Ball 2.
I think he wanted that one there,
He
didn't he?
did. He did. That didn't miss by much, that's for sure. Bases jammed, 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, scoreless so far. And the 2-2 pitch on the way to the plate is high for ball 3.
Now runners will be running on this pitch. Got a full count and 2 outs, so runners are going to be taken off on the pitch.
Well, situation for Evan Smith, you mentioned his ERA is 0.
Right.
No earned runs, and that run at third base would also not be an earned run. And a walk. And home on the play comes Barrios. And so Eastmont leads at 1-0.
It's a great at-bat there by Kyle, running that thing to a full count and then getting himself a walk after falling down 2 strikes early in the count.
That'll bring up Luke Gale. First baseman for Eastmont was 1 for 3 in the opener of the doubleheader today with a run scored. First pitch he'll take, and it's a strike. 0-1 to count to Luke. So 1 run in. Base is still jammed with 2 down here for the Wildcats, trying to break it open early. The 0-1 pitch on the way is a curveball low. 1-1 to count to Luke Gale. Junior for Eastmont. You talked about it in the first game. Starting quarterback since he was a freshman. And you talk about pressure.
Yeah.
To be a starting quarterback on the varsity football team as a freshman. This pitch swung on, popped up but foul, and out of play, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's a good leader and athletic kid that is working hard and got the physique like we were talking about earlier too. Big tall kid.
Swung on and missed here. And the ball got away from the catcher, but he'll throw down to first base. So K2-3 on the putout. And I'll tell you, that's a pretty darn good job by Evan Smith, who got out of the jam with just giving up the 1 run. 3 left on. We'll head to the second. 1-0 Eastmont on top. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's start here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Coverage of Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously every time you stop by. Also by Sangster Motors, family-owned and operated home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. 1-0 ball game as we head to the second frame. James Butler, Joe Skyleman, and Owen Irvin due up here for Wenatchee, and they're part of the second to face Michael Singleton. And the first pitch is swung on and fouled into the glove. 0-1 the count here to James Butler.
Talking about big kids. This is a big sophomore right here.
The 0-1 pitch on the way is in there for a strike. 0-2 the count. Stuck with the coaching staff between the 2 ball games for Wenatchee about the knuckleballs that we saw from both their pitchers in that first game. Curveball here is a strike called and gone, looking as Butler for the first out in the second. That'll bring up shortstop Joe Skyleman. I said, so is that an influence? And the coach said, yeah, well, you know, it's just like we talked about. They're messing around on the side and warming up and trying to throw it. And then it's like, okay, well, you can. So can you throw it for strikes?
Right.
Can you do it in game situation? And both our starting pitchers, or both pitchers for Wenatchee in that first game, did a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just a pitch that you're hoping that a kid will fish at, too.
Right, right. 1-1 the count here to Skyleman. The swing and a miss on strike 2 as Michael Singleton brought the heat. I like these guys that don't waste any time on the mound.
Yeah.
Pitch is fouled away on the third base side. Coach Josh Irvin over there giving the Ole move.
You know, going back to players that have played in the past, Grady Miller was a great pitcher for Wenatchee, and he wasted 0 time.
This pitch swung on and grounded, backhanding the ball as a shortstop. That's a long throw. And a good job by Luke Gale to come over and help out on the attempt. Nice backhanded play by Tice Llewellyn, but you really got no chance that deep in the hole. So a base hit for Wenatchee with 1 out brings up Owen Irvin, the first baseman, in this second game of the doubleheader.
Another freshman.
First pitch to him. This is a little bit low for ball 1.
Yeah, Grady Miller. We used to have the kids call a timeout just to try and break his rhythm, and it didn't work.
The 1-0 pitch swung on and chopped to the left side. Backing up on it is the third baseman. He'll throw to second for 1, and eating it is Carter Heimbigner. They do get the force out on Skyleman at second, 5-3, or 5-4, I should say. 2 down. Owen Irvin aboard on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up Matt Butler.
So we've mentioned combined the two teams have 6 seniors that are on the roster. Is that correct? Yeah, so they're both looking to be strong again for next year and years to come.
Down the road, that's for sure. So right fielder Matt Butler behind in the count 0-1 here to Michael Singleton. This pitch swung on and hit slowly up the third base line. Llewellyn is there, and a strong throw across is in time to get Butler. 5-3 on the putout. So Wenatchee gets a runner aboard. They leave a man. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 1-0. Eastmont on top. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Kellen Leonard, Carter Heimbigner, and Tice Llewellyn do up here the 8, 9, and 1 batters for Eastmont as they lead at 1-0 over Wenatchee. You're watching Big Nine Baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, providing outstanding value and service since 1962. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you as Kellen Leonard will step up to lead it off here in the second. Kellen was, let's see, did he get a base hit?
He was 0 for 3
0 for 3, there you go. Trying to read my own handwriting. Oh, it was a backwards K. That's why I couldn't decipher what the heck I scribbled there. First pitch is missing for a ball to Leonard. 1-0 the count as Evan Smith continues to work on the mound. And the 1-0 pitch swung on, popped up, foul, and this is going to get out of play. And the count even to Leonard at 1 ball and 1 strike. Our broadcast also brought to you by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. This pitch swung on and hit hard. Ducking down, though, and being caught out there is the center fielder coming in, Ben Kennedy. Nice play by Ben out there. That ball had that look like, oh, that's gonna dive down, but
yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing about baseball. You know, you hit a ball hard like that, and we've seen some other balls hit hard that have been caught. and you get an out on it, but then you have a little dinker that gets in there for a base hit. It's just unfortunate.
Heimbigner squared to bunt and took the pitch. It was coming right towards his noggin. 1-0 the count here to Carter, and the next pitch is swung on and foul. That was a pitch high and inside as well. Evens the count to Heimbigner at 1 ball and 1 strike. Heimbigner 0 for the first game. Got aboard on an error and scored in that 3-run 5th inning. That was a big difference in the ball game for Eastmont. 1-1 the pitch by Smith. Curveball, strike called on the inside corner. That was a good pitch. Started up above his head and then dropped right down into the glove of James Butler, knee high.
Evans really liking his curveball right now.
The 1-2 pitch on the way is low.
I haven't seen him throw much in the past, so this is my first look at him, and he's doing a good job mixing in his pitches, but he's liking that off-speed pitch right now, like I was saying.
That pitch is fouled back to the screen. Rattles the cage here behind home plate. Evens the count, or the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carter Heimbigner. Second man up here in the second for Eastmont. They lead Wenatchee 1-0 after winning the first game of a doubleheader today, 5-0. The 2-2 pitch is bouncing in for a ball. Good stop by James Butler behind home plate. Our broadcast also brought to you by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge. 100% real cheese and freshly rolled dough, making it Abby's Pizza night tonight. Staying alive, Heimbigner fouls it off.
It's a good at-bat by Carter, like you said, staying alive, and the importance of seeing so many pitches, as we've talked about before.
The battery was ready to go. The batter was ready to go, but the umpire didn't even have his mask on. So he's like, hang on, boys. We need to hang on just a sec here. 3-2 pitch again from Smith. Curveball misses inside.
Great
Smith
at-bat.
really wanted that one. And, yes, very good at bat by Carter Heimbigner. Fell behind, able to work a 1-out walk. So a runner aboard for Tice Llewellyn. Tried to bunt himself aboard in the first to start the game. Very nearly did so, but a nice play by Evan Smith, jumping off the mound and making the play in front of the plate. Here comes the first pitch on the way to Llewellyn. Misses outside for a ball. 1-0. Evan Smith with a long look in after that pitch. And
yeah, he wanted that one, didn't he?
yeah, it's 2 in a row that he really wanted. 1-0 to Llewellyn here. Runner at first with speed in Heimbigner. He will go. The pitch is swung on and hit right through the hole as it will leak into right field. And with the speed of Heimbigner running on the play, that'll put runners on the corners here for Eastmont.
Yeah, a little seeing eye single right there.
Well, that's the importance of put the game in motion. You've got that runner from first running to second. That gets your second baseman moving towards the bag. And then right where he left, the ball goes.
Yeah, good call by Coach Hoff on like you said, getting that kid in motion, getting a little hit and run.
So Barrios with a chance to bring home another run here for Eastmont. And the first pitch, he'll square to bunt. Fastball misses outside for ball 1. Almost pitch out material there.
Yes, it was.
James Butler came leaping from behind home plate and stared down towards first at Tice Llewellyn. Everybody ready? A bunt attempt again. This is drug up the first baseline. Nice play by Barrios. The throw to first is dropped by the first baseman. Run's going to score. Eastmont up 2-0.
There's that safety squeeze that we've talked about a lot, making sure the bunt gets down, and Carter at third base breaks on the down angle of the ball.
That was a good throw by the pitcher. Evan Smith just dropped out there at first base, so they're going to have a little meeting on the mound here.
What do you call that there?
That's an error on the first baseman.
I agree.
That should have squeezed that one. So a little discussion on the mound gives me a chance to tell you about some of our sponsors here on the NCWLIFE Channel, including Biosports Physical Therapy, Aquatherapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Orthotics. All you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel with our live feed on Facebook. You know, my partner here, this is his third game broadcasting with us here on the NCWLIFE Channel, made the cardinal sin in our first game today as we were through 4 innings fairly rapidly.
We were.
And Brandon says, boy, this game is moving fast. And then, of course, the 5th inning took about 20-some minutes. Eastmont brought 9 men to the plate.
I should know better. Baseball's a superstitious sport, right?
Yeah, which is a great discussion I want to get into as well here. This curveball is in there for a strike to Jet Llewellyn, 0-1 to count. I was mentioning the other day game for the Mariners on Wednesday. And Marco Gonzalez on the mound, and he was just doing so well, pitching very well. Of course, former Wenatchee Apple Sock pitcher.
Yep.
Pitch here swung on and hit hard to left field, and it is gone.
Nope, off the wall.
It's off the wall. Oh, okay. I thought I saw kids running for the ball out there beyond the fence. Okay.
Excited Little Leaguers.
Yes. So how about an RBI double, ringing shot for Jet Llewellyn, and it's now a 3-0 ball game here for Eastmont. Ty scores easily from second base. Barrios ends up at third on the double to left. And looks like we're going to get a pitching change here.
Yep. Oh, bringing in Garrett Anderson again.
Yeah, how about that? Okay, so a pitching change being made. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here on the broadcast and come back and let you know about the new pitcher on the mound and about our game here. That is a 3-0 count in favor of the home team. We'll come back. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
All right, so we've got a pitching change. Garrett Anderson is on the mound now. He finished things up for Wenatchee in our first game of the doubleheader today, so he takes over on the mound. Meanwhile, Evan Smith, according to my broadcast partner with better eyes than me, says that Evan Smith has gone out to center field. Ben Kennedy, you say, is out of the game now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Ben's number 2, correct?
Let me check here. Yes.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, Ben came out.
So Ben Kennedy is out of the game. Meanwhile, situation here on the base paths for Eastmont is runners at second and third with 1 out. Evan Smith out of the game, goes 1 1/3 and responsible for the 2 on the base paths right now. As Michael Singleton steps in, the first pitch to him is hit in the air to center, left center field. That's going to score a run. Barrios will come home easily. And an RBI sacrifice fly for Michael Singleton, and it is a 4-0 lead for the Wildcats.
You know, that's a job you got to do right there by Michael. Just get in there and make sure that you get at least one of those runs. As we've talked about how important runs are in this game, and anytime you can get one, you might as well take advantage of it.
Skylar Bryant steps up now for Eastmont, and the first pitch to him is a curveball missing outside for ball 1. 1-0. Skylar 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance back in the first. We're in the second. It is a 4-0 Eastmont lead here early over Wenatchee, but we saw that earlier this week in a 6-5 Wenatchee win that, you know, no lead is necessarily safe. The 1-0 pitch to Bryant by Anderson bounces in. Good stop by the catcher, James Butler, keeping that ball out in front of him.
Yeah, these guys all know that there's way too much on the line to roll over and die right now, so you can expect that Wenatchee will be coming out and scrapping away, and they'll get their opportunities.
Strike here to Bryant, 2-1 to count as Jet Llewellyn out there at second base. Well, the ball I thought had gone over the fence, but no, just a double off the fence moments ago. This pitch misses away for a ball. 3-1 to count to Schuyler. Hitting began with a line out to center by Kellen Leonard, and then Heimbigner walked. And how many times do you see that walk come around to hurt you? This pitch is a curveball missing high for ball 4. Speaking of walks, our second walk in the inning here. And the first by Garrett Anderson in relief of Evan Smith. That'll bring up Kyle Smith, the 8th man to come to the plate for Eastmont here in the second. Pitch by Anderson, swung on and hit in the air to right field, and that's going to get down for extra. Rounding first and heading for second is Bryant. The throw in could have beat him. Now a runner scampering for home, and the play at home is out at home. Boy, I thought he missed the tag. Trying to slide home on the play for the Wildcats. They do get one run in the fray here. So give an RBI on the single to Kyle Smith. He moves to second on the throw. And then the relay to home will be the final out here of the frame. But Eastmont does get 4 runs, and they leave a man. We will head to the third inning. It is 5-0 Eastmont. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Thomas Ivy will lead it off here for Wenatchee. His first plate appearance in the second game of the doubleheader. Lead it off, and then he'll be followed by Brock Toffness and Ben Kennedy. Well, it won't be Ben. He was replaced in the lineup defensively. We'll have to see who the Panthers.
Garrett
will bat. Okay.
Yep.
So Garrett will bat for Ben. Meanwhile, the first pitch is a ball to Thomas Ivy. And the next pitch misses not by much, and the count goes to 2-0. Wenatchee bench trying to get things going here. This pitch swung on, and basically a swinging bunt off the mound. The pitcher will field it. Nice job by Singleton to throw over in time to get the runner at first base.
That was a good athletic play there by Michael coming off the mound. And then he kind of bobbled it and stayed with it and still able to make the play. Strong arm.
So Brock Toffness now up. Excuse me, 0 for 1 after a fly out to left field in his first plate appearance. He'll take ball 1 here from Michael Singleton. Next pitch misses low for ball 2.
You know, Michael's coming out in this inning and having a little bit of trouble throwing strikes. You know, he was gifted an out kind of there by Thomas swinging at that 2-0 pitch that I might want to see a couple more. And Brock's done a good job of seeing pitches there and got a hold of one here, didn't he?
That pitch is all the way to the fence. Rounding first, heading for second is Toffness, and he'll be in with a stand-up one-out double here for Wenatchee. So the Panthers, as you talked about, not going away here on a ringing double by Brock Toffness.
Yeah, that was a great job. Like I was mentioning, you know, you want to, as a coach, my statement was, hey,
toss to the bag at second, and they get the runner as he was too far off the bag. Beautiful pickoff move by Singleton, who threw it to Heimbigner, and he tags him out. So 2 down now for Wenatchee. And Garrett Anderson back in the batter's box. Pitch to him, swung on, and a fly ball to center field.
Ball's hit well, too.
Backing up and making the catch on the run out there is Barrios for the out. So it turns out to be a 1-2-3 frame here for Wenatchee as we'll head to the bottom of the third. It's Eastmont 5, Wenatchee nothing. You're watching Big 9 baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Well, Luke Gale, Kellen Leonard, that is, and Carter Heimbigner, the bottom of the order, due up for Eastmont, and they're part of the third, as they've got 5 runs on the board on, well, I've got them for 4 hits. Scoreboard only has them for 3. How many do you have them for there, Coach?
I've got us for our Eastmont. Excuse me, let's flip this over. 1, 2, 3.
Hits in the last inning.
Yep.
So,
and 4. Yeah, I've got 4 hits.
Okay. All right. Yep. So your scoreboard on the screen is not going to be correct. First pitch taken by Luke Gale on a curveball by Garrett Anderson is in there for a strike. 0-1 to count to Luke. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in his first plate appearance in the first. The 0-1 pitch, another curveball. This one swung on a hit slowly toward the shortstop. In on the ball is Skyleman. They'll throw to first in time. Nice play there. Not an easy one, especially when you've got the undulations here of natural grass infield.
Yes.
But
Skyleman showed off his arm on that one a little bit,
yes,
too.
Yes, he did.
Rifled that across there.
Of course, Joe was our pitcher in the first game of the doubleheader. I went in the dugout and I told the coaching staff, I said, you know, Joe deserved better than what he got there. His defense kind of let him down in that first game of the doubleheader. Kellen Leonard now steps up. The first pitch is low for a ball.
Yeah, and we're seeing that a little bit in this game, too. So walks and errors will always kill you as a pitcher.
Especially at the high school level. 1-0 the count to Leonard, and this pitch swung on and a well-hit ball to left field. Backing up, the left fielder goes all the way back. It hits the fence on one hop. Kellen Leonard will dig into second base with a stand-up double.
That ball was well struck by Kellen. He's liking that out there at second base. Give him a little sprinkler move.
No chance for Ivy out there in left field to track that one down. So 1 aboard with 1 out for Eastmont. Carter Heimbigner steps in. He walked and scored in that 4-run second, and the first pitch here misses high for a ball.
You know, and his at-bat, as I mentioned at that time, that was a great at-bat. I think he saw 8 pitches in that at-bat, and we've talked about a lot how seeing so many pitches is so important. And he's what started that whole deal there.
Yeah, there was 1 out in the inning when he got aboard on the walk. And as you said, saw 8 pitches before he finally got aboard. And then Tice Llewellyn followed with a single and then an error. And then the hit parade continued. This pitch is well struck, but going to be caught out there by Evan Smith in center field. So a fly out to center for the second out. Back to the top of the order for shortstop Tice Llewellyn.
The shortstop.
And that just shows the importance of having those athletes. I mean, here you got Evan Smith, who played third base in the first game of the doubleheader. He was a pitcher to start this game here, and now he's out there in center field and was able to make that play. And not the easiest of plays, especially if outfield is not really your position.
Right, right. And the wind's blowing a little bit. And
Llewellyn out there at second base with 2 down now in the inning, and the pitch by Garrett Anderson misses away for ball 1. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Clean Connection. Call Clean Connection to keep your carpet, upholstery, and air ducts clean for a healthier environment inside your home. Locally owned, find them at yourcleanconnection.com. The 1-0 pitch swung on and on a hop, hit right to the first baseman, Owen Irvin. He'll take it to the bag himself, 3 unassisted for the putout. So Eastmont retired without giving up without scoring a run here for the first time in this game. It's a 5-0 count. Wildcats leading the Panthers. It's Big 9 baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction is not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Connor Christensen, Evan Smith, and James Butler, the order for Wenatchee here in the 4th, as it's a 5-0 ball game. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel. along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom, and the first pitch here is swung on and fouled off the plate and came up and caught a piece of Connor Christensen. 0-1 the count. Connor with a sharp single in his first plate appearance back in the first. 1 of 3 hits for Wenatchee in the game. A swing and a miss here, and the count quickly 0-2 in favor of Michael Singleton on the mound for Eastmont. This pitch goes all the way to the backstop.
You see Connor choking up on the bat here, and what that's doing is just giving him better bat control. So he's able to control the bat a little bit better and hopefully put a ball in play once he gets down to 2 strikes.
1-2 pitch, ouch, inside and hit Christensen. And he's trying to fire up his dugout because he took one for the team.
You know, you mentioned Evan Smith about where he's able to play in multiple different spots, and that's an important thing for like young kids to remember is be versatile. You know, don't just get yourself saying I'm a third baseman and only a third baseman, because if you can learn to play more positions, your opportunities to play at a higher level are going to be better.
First pitch to Evan Smith misses low and away for a ball. Panther fans also trying to root on their team here to have a little rally. This pitch is swung on and hit in the air, going to drop down in front of the right fielder out there. And hustling the ball in, but a base hit, runners at first and second. That can be the beginnings of something pretty big for Wenatchee. James Butler will now step up.
Yeah, Connor had to freeze on that because the ball was hit sharply to Skylar Bryant. Didn't know if that was going to be caught or not, so that's why Skylar was chucking that in as quick as he could. Thought he had a potential of getting the out at second base there.
First pitch to Butler misses low for ball 1. Butler 0 for 1 in this game. Struck out looking in the second on a 3-pitch at bat. 0-1 pitch here, bounces, and everybody's going to try to move up a base, and everybody's going to be safe on the wild pitch. Christensen down to third base, Smith at second. And the count 2-0 on James Butler. So Wenatchee had a chance to score for the first time today. This curveball is in for a strike, and the count goes to 2-1. That was a pretty pitch.
Yeah.
You can see James Butler kind of wiggle his knee a little bit there.
Yeah, he
fooled
was
on that one.
I think he was in a little bit of a disagreement on that,
yes,
too.
He was.
Might have thought that was up a little bit.
Swings and misses at the next pitch, so it's now even to 2-2 as Michael Singleton tries to bounce back. And the pitch on the way, swung on and hit hard, but right at, it's going to go over Leonard's head in left field. That's going to score 1 and 2. And suddenly it is a 5-2 contest on a 2-run double by James Butler.
This is all stemming from Connor Christensen getting hit and getting the team riled up a little bit. He knows that this game is way too long to be out of it in the 4th inning. And as you mentioned, the game on Tuesday was a back and forth game.
Absolutely. Joe Scouterman steps up now for Wenatchee. He's got a base hit in this game. And the first pitch he takes for a ball inside, 1-0 the count. Joel with a demonstrative look towards his dugout after that pitch. That 1-0 pitch swung on, popped up left side of the infield. Who's going to call for it? It will be third baseman Jet Llewellyn, who will make the catch for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up first baseman Owen Irvin. Irvin hit into a fielder's choice to the third baseman back in the second. Going to try to extend the inning here for Wenatchee. Just one down with a runner at second base, and the first pitch he takes for a strike, 0-1 the count here to Owen.
That never die attitude is a huge thing for kids to get, knowing that no matter how far down they are, they still have an opportunity to win.
Well, that's life lessons there too in sports that you can get at an early age like this that will carry for the rest of your life.
Right.
Pickoff move at second, and they got him. What a move by Michael Singleton, and his throw to Heimbigner. Second time they caught somebody trying to lean a little bit here, and so that'll do it for Wenatchee. They do get 2 runs.
It's only 2 outs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought there was an out earlier too, but
right.
Connor led that one off.
Got a little excited there. Sorry about that. Caught stealing. 1-4, so that's 2 outs. There we go. And what do we have here? Okay, out. Okay, on an 0-2 pitch. There we go. Okay. I had it. I just was a little premature on that.
That's right.
So there we go. 2 runs in for Wenatchee on a couple of base hits. And we will head to the bottom of the 4th. New ball game, 5-2. Eastmont on top. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrains, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Valente Barrios, Jet Llewellyn, and Michael Singleton do up for Eastmont here in the bottom of the 4th in a 5-2 contest. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Cascade, encouraging you to leave your mark. Coldwell Banker Cascade is guiding you home in north central Washington. Barrios been aboard twice. He scored twice and been aboard on errors both times. As Garrett Anderson will see him for the first time in relief here for Wenatchee. Curveball is in there for a strike. That's a pretty pitch, and that's just one you think, that's not going to come anywhere.
Yeah.
Cold, here it is right on the plate.
Yeah, and you were mentioning Barrios has been on base twice, and both of them by bunts.
Yeah. We'll see if he
Tries to bunt here.
There's a knuckleball.
Misses inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. And you said he's been throwing this knuckleball for a long time.
Yeah, for quite a few years, yeah. So he's been one that has been enjoying the looks on hitters' faces for a while.
Well, if you can throw it for a strike, I mean, that is just so huge.
Yeah. Especially when you can get it to dance a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know people say it doesn't dance, but go out there and try and catch a good knuckleball.
It's a
and you'll
wiffle
see.
ball.
Yeah.
This pitch misses the low and away for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Barrios here. I'm trying to think, in my high school career, I don't think anybody threw a knuckleball.
Really?
Yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I had a hard enough time hitting the curveball, for gosh sakes. 2-1 pitch here, swung on and fouled away. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Broadcast brought to you by Confluence Health. High-quality care close to home. Confluence Health, dedicated to improving their patients' health with safe, high-quality care in 12 communities. 2-2 count to the leadoff man here in the 4th. In a 5-2 contest. The pitch by Anderson is a curveball, almost hit him.
I thought it did.
Did it go behind him?
It did, yeah.
And the count goes to 3-2.
I don't hear the Eastmont dugout giving them flack like Wenatchee's dugout.
Anderson ready, and the 3-2 pitch to Barrios is swung on and hit in the air to left center. And we'll see if the wind plays any havoc with that. Evan Smith able to track that one down for the out. 1 out in the 4th brings up Jet Llewellyn. Hey, don't forget, a week from tomorrow, Apple Blossom Festival starts next week during the week. You're going to see everything getting set up in the park starting on Monday. We will have the Technoplex Youth Parade here live on the NCWLIFE Channel starting a week from tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning. Be sure and join us. I'll be joined by 1974 Queen Julie Agins-Kuntz. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that. We have lots of fun broadcasting the parade, so hopefully you'll be able to join us for that next week.
Yeah, busy times for my daughter coming up here in the next week or two.
Jet Llewellyn looks at a couple of pitches outside the strike zone, 2-0 the count. Brandon's daughter is Dylan, one of our princesses for the Apple Blossom Festival.
Jet's been hitting the ball well this game. He's 2 for 2 so far with a double and a single. And
RBI to throw in there and scored a run.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad day so far, and he's just facing his 3rd time at the plate. The 3-0 pitch to him misses outside for a ball. Good eye by Llewellyn. And that'll bring up Michael Singleton. Singleton with a good job he was the first batter faced by Garrett Anderson with the bases loaded and hit a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the 2nd. Got aboard on an error in the 1st as well. Singleton steps up with a runner on and 1 down. And the pitch by Anderson is a curve, misses high and inside for ball 1. One of those curves that doesn't curve too much.
Yeah. James stood up a little bit early on that, Butler, and took the umpire's vision out of it, but I think it was...
This pitch is hit hard, and it is a foul ball, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Don't think that was going to be called a strike to Michael on the previous pitch, but James, with his big body, didn't give the umpire much of a view.
Well, and Mr. Butler, our catcher for Wenatchee, is about 3-4 inches taller than the umpire as it is, so not too hard to obscure the view there.
James has done a really good job behind the plate today too.
This pitch swung on a hit foul, just barely up the 3rd baseline, so the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And that is not an easy job, by the way. I mean, catching is not easy to begin with, but then catch both ends of a doubleheader.
Right.
Not the most fun you'll have.
Yeah, but he's built for it.
Yeah. 1-2 the count. Anderson trying to get Singleton. Pitch swung on, popped up behind home plate. And I don't see it, so
we're safe.
Okay. All right. Ball and 2 strikes remains on Michael Singleton. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, providing heating and air conditioning service and installation since 1982. Serving residential and commercial, they specialize in indoor air quality, insulation, service, and repair. The 1-2 pitch is high for ball 2. Mariners home tonight, hosting St. Louis, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. I don't think we're to game time yet. Well, just about. This pitch swung on and hit the air a mile high. And Evan Smith trying to negotiate the sky, which it is a very tough sky to find a baseball. Fly out to center field, his second put out here in this inning for Evan. 2 down here in the frame, brings up Skylar Bryant. I see, is it George Kirby on the mound for the Mariners tonight?
I'm not 100% sure.
Logan Gilbert? I can't remember now. First of a 3-game weekend series against St. Louis. You know, I like this if they're going to have the interleague play and get them in at the start of the season.
Right. Well, and with as much travel as the Mariners have to do, it's...
Yeah.
We got George Kirby on the mound.
Kirby, okay.
Kirby versus Matz.
Want to know the count here. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, speaking of baseballs, we talked about this a little bit last time we did the doubleheader. How many baseballs do you have to have ready for a high school game, a varsity high school game?
For
typically?
A high school game, I always brought down a box and a half. So I would bring down
So is there a dozen
18
balls in a box?
Yeah, so 18 balls. And there wasn't many times where we had to go deeper than that. But we were talking, too, about how many balls the major leagues use. And this
pitch popped up, and again, going to be behind us, and a count of ball and 2 strikes to Skylar Bryant. Fans cheering somebody who was able to snag that ball.
Yeah. We had mentioned that every time a ball hits the dirt in the major leagues, they throw the ball out. So an umpire pregame will rub down. They use this mud. It's called Mississippi mud. And they'll rub down between 10 and 12 dozen balls. So they're looking at 122 to 100 or 120 to 144
this
balls
pitch
a game.
is ripped to left field. That was so high out of the strike zone, he had to reach up for it, but Skylar Bryant able to muscle that down into left field. So runners at first and second with 2 down for Eastmont. Brings up the DH, Kyle Smith. I heard something interesting in an interview here a week ago with Paul Sewald, reliever for the Mariners. And speaking of baseballs, new baseballs brought out to their home plate umpire as there's a discussion out on the mound. But Paul Sewald told the interviewers on Cairo over in Seattle that he absolutely, and this is kind of a common thing, but this is the first time I've heard this talked about out loud by pitchers. You know, they're talking about baseballs, Major League Baseballs, and how they, there's a lot of questions about the baseballs themselves. But he said that absolutely they get better balls when it's a nationally televised game than if it's a Tuesday night game that's on regional television.
Really?
And I was the same way. I'm like, what? I've never heard that ever.
Yeah, I thought they had to go through the same specs for no matter what game it was in.
He said, and I'm quoting, that they get better balls, better quality balls for those nationally televised games than what they get on a Tuesday night in a Flunko game.
Right. Huh.
And I was rather incredulous when I heard that. I was like, oh my gosh. How is there not an investigation to that?
Right.
This pitch just barely misses. Garrett Anderson started walking off the mound.
He's liking that knuckleball right now.
Yeah, he thought he had strike 3 to Kyle Smith. Smith, 1 for 1 in the game with a couple of RBIs. And the 1-2 pitch from Garrett Anderson instead is a turnoff and look back at second base.
Jet seeing if he can get some tells by Garrett here, if he can take the bag. A lot of times pitchers get into habits. They'll get into, we use a thing called like UCLA, and it goes off of looks. Like a pitcher will look back, and so they'll be called a 1, or if he looks back twice, it's called a 2, and then they'll have a consistent timing of when they'll start the delivery. So it'd be like a 2C would be kid looks once, twice, and then UC.
Which is hugely important for the base runners, right?
Right.
I mean, because then you could time, okay, now I can leave and try to steal a bag.
Exactly. That's why it's important for pitchers always to mix up their looks. Yeah.
Well, and you can imagine for the major league pitchers, the adjustment to the pitch clock now.
Right.
Because that changes their whole routine.
Yeah, and if they pick over twice, they can't pick again, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems like they've adjusted pretty well. It's almost a non-discussion anymore.
And their bases are bigger, too.
Right.
So they've made it bigger to make them safer.
2-2 the count to Kyle Smith. The runners go. The pitch is, missing. I don't know how, but
that
now
one
it's
looked
full
pretty good.
count. Meanwhile, the runners move up a bag. I think the entire Wenatchee defense, as well as the Wenatchee fans here, thought that's strike three. 3-2 count with first base now open. And the pitch swung on and chopped off the plate. Skyleman is there. The throw to first is in time, and that'll do it. So Eastmont gets a couple of runners aboard. They leave two. We'll head to the fifth. It is a 5-2 lead for the Wildcats over the Panthers. It's Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Matt Butler, Thomas Ivy, and Brock Toughness do up here in the fifth for Wenatchee as they trail at 5-2, trying to come back here against their Cross River rival, the Eastmont Wildcats. Michael Singleton continues to pitch, and the first pitch is swung on and grounded to the shortstop. Llewellyn down on it, will throw, low throw, dug out nicely by Luke Gale. He's had a few of those here today.
Yes, he has.
And he does to start out the inning, and a nice job by Tice Llewellyn. That ball took a hop on him, and it came up, and that's just picture perfect what you want to do as a youngster as far as your fundamentals are concerned. Square the ball up, keep your body in front of it, and it came up to his chest, and he was able to field it nicely. One out here as Thomas Ivy takes the first pitch for a strike. Ivy 0 for 1 with a ground out back to the mound. And this pitch misses just barely, evens the count to Ivy at 1-1 strike. Ivy takes the next pitch. And again, Michael Singleton, quick worker on the mound here.
Not giving us much time to talk, is he?
Nope, not at all. 2-1 pitch is a little outside for ball 3. Again, Nathan Hahn, I should say, is behind home plate. And
he's had
Dan
a consistent.
Kulik.
He's had a consistent zone, but
this
tight.
is true. This pitch swung on a chopped off the plate. That's going to squib out of play, out of in foul territory. And the count now full to Thomas Ivy at 3-2. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their #1 priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pick up and drop off available too. Stop by their website at globalcarcare.net. But talking about baseballs and the difference, and Paul Sewald saying that there's a difference in the game. If you're a nationally televised big-time game, that he says you get better balls than you do if you're kind of a schlock game on a Monday night, which is just stunning to me.
Yeah, and we talked about this in the break, too, about how each and every single ball is hand-stitched. So there's people that sit there and stitch baseballs all day long for a job.
Well, and the question, of course, it's mostly pitchers that are, and this ball gets away from the catcher, Nate Whitehall, and goes all the way to the backstop. So down to second on a wild pitch goes Thomas Ivy. 1-0 the count to Brock Toughness here. With the fact that the balls, yes, they are handmade. Mm-hmm. They're spun by a machine. but they are finished by hand. The leather, 2 pieces of leather, are brought together around the ball, and they're hand-stitched, hand-sewn together. So you are going to get a little variation there, I guess. But also, as you talked about in the break, that every single ball is inspected.
Right.
They don't let it get out of the Rawlings factory without it being inspected. But there was also this talk with Paul Sewald in this interview I heard where he says, Japan's got it figured out. Now, I don't know who Japan has their contract with for Japanese baseball, but according to Paul Sewald anyway, relief pitcher for the Mariners, and I believe him. He's been around a while.
Right.
He's, why would he make it up? And he says that the balls in Japan are, you grab one ball, you grab 100 balls, and they're all the same.
Really?
But in Major League Baseball, with the balls by Rawlings, they are not.
Huh.
And sometimes you'll see that, a pitcher likes a left-handed seam or a right-handed seam on the ball.
Yeah.
And you'll have, I guess what that is you have a right-handed person or a left-handed person that stitches the ball together.
Mm-hmm.
High and inside, a little chin music there for Brock Toughness on the 3-0 pitch, and he'll head down to first base.
Got Bodie Yell warming up in the bullpen for the Wildcats.
So Michael Singleton might be showing a little sign of tiring here as the next pitch is missing for a ball to Garrett Anderson. 1-0 the count. We hear the chirping coming from the Wenatchee dugouts. Trying to get a rally here in the 5th as they trail it 5-2. This pitch grounded, double play opportunity. Llewellyn fumbles it, and everybody's going to be safe. Tice Llewellyn thought about what he wanted to do before he physically took care of the first part of that, and that was fielding the ball. You could just see it where he's like, okay, I got a chance for 2 here. Going to flip to second, get it on to first, get the double play. But no, E6. Bases now loaded, and suddenly this game gets a lot tighter here for the Wenatchee Panthers offensively. And Connor Christensen at the plate will look at strike one, 0-1 to count. And Christensen with an exhalation of breath pursed between his lips, not happy about that call by the home plate umpire. Here comes the 0-1 pitch on the way, swung on and hit back over the mound. Another play for Llewellyn. He'll bobble it again, and everybody's safe again, and a run will score. And it's a 5-3 ball game.
Yeah, that one there, Tice has got to come and get that ball a little bit earlier. Ball hops high. He's got to come and attack that ball because, like we've talked about today, this is not a Major League Baseball field, and you don't know what the ball is doing as it comes off the ground immediately. We know what the ball is going to do as it's coming down out of the air or as it immediately hits the ground, so we're going to try and get it at the top of the bounce or at the very bottom of the bounce. That's where you're going to try and get it. And he just sat back a little bit too much there.
We've got a pitching change made as Darren Hoff is out there on the mound to make the change. We'll tell you about those changes coming up after a 60-second timeout. 5-3, brand new ball game. Tight situation here with the bases loaded in the 5th. Wenatchee still batting. We'll come back here next on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Well, the base is jammed here, and a situation for Bodie Yell. Freshman.
Hard-throwing freshman.
Coming out here to try to put the fire out for Eastmont. So he would be the fireman right now for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, Panthers with the rally have a run in already in this inning. And the bases loaded and taking advantage of some defensive miscues out at short by Tice Llewellyn. And now the man coming to the plate is Evan Smith. Evan is 1 for 2 in the game. He popped out to the first baseman and then singled and scored in the 4th. Chance to do some damage here. Infield drawn in on the corners, trying to get the double play ball. And the pitch on the way to the plate is bouncing in for a ball. 1-0 the count to Evan Smith. Again, Bodie Yell taking over for Michael Singleton. And one thing I didn't watch is what they did defensively here. Looks like Luke is still at first.
No, Jets at first. I think Bodie came in for Luke.
Okay.
And Michael went to third base.
Okay. Got it. This pitch swung on
hit well.
And hit well to center field. That's going to maybe clear the bases
3.
all the way to center field. Barrios finally picks it up out by the fence, and 3 runs are going to score. And Wenatchee has the lead on the bases clearing double by Evan Smith.
Down but not out, right? That's got to be the mentality.
So Toffness scores. Anderson scores. Christensen scores. 4 runs in the inning, and Wenatchee still batting here as James Butler will step up, who had a big 2-run double in his last plate appearance. And the pitch by Yell is a fastball missing for ball 1. 1-0 the count. You can now close the book on Michael Singleton. And the pitch swung on, a miss, hefty cut there by Butler, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, just like we talked about with that game on Tuesday night, a back-and-forth contest that ended with the score we have on the board right now at 6-5. And it was Wenatchee coming away with the win, scoring in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're in the top of the 5th in this one.
And the Wildcats had been hadn't walked anybody and hadn't had an error going into that inning. And we've talked about the importance of not walking and not having errors and how those are pitchers' worst enemies.
Inning began innocently enough on a first pitch swing by Matt Butler and a ground out to the shortstop. And then a walk to Ivy, a walk to Toffness. Garrett Anderson got aboard on an error. Then an error on a ball hit by Connor Christensen. A swing and a miss here by James Butler is the second out of the inning. And then a big 3-run double by Evan Smith. And now a strikeout by James Butler, and that'll bring up Joe Skyleman. Skyleman 1 for 2 with a base hit and a pop out to the third baseman. Bodie Yell, the freshman, all the pressure in the world on him. The first pitch is swung on and fouled back at the count 0-1 on Joe Skyleman. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Harvest Valley Pest Control. You can rest assured that Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet safe material around your home or office. Harvest Valley Pest Control, call for a free estimate. This pitch swung on and grounded to the third baseman. Down is Singleton. His long throw across is in time to get the out. And the side retired, but not before Wenatchee plates 4 runs in the inning on a couple of errors and 1 big base hit by Evan Smith. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 6-5, Wenatchee on top. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Well, here we go to the bottom of the fifth in a brand new ball game. 6-5 the score. Eastmont took the early lead on a run in the first, 4 more in the second. But Wenatchee countered with 2 in the top of the fifth, and now 4 here in the, let me make that 2 in the top of the fourth, and now 4 in the top of the fifth as we're in the bottom of the fifth. Luke Gale, Kellen Leonard, and Carter Heimbigner do up bottom of the order here for the Wildcats.
And Bodie Yell, remember, stepped in for Luke.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So Bodie will lead it off here. First pitch to Bodie, who will try to help his own cause here, is swung on and missed. And the count 0-1 to Bodie. Hello, possibly, to his family that might be watching outside the state of Washington. Had a nice correspondence with them following the doubleheader here a couple of weeks ago. And I apologize for calling him Brody the whole time.
Well, you couldn't read what was on your paper.
Well, see, that's what I was. Thank you for doing that, because I was going to say, I couldn't read anything because we were soaking wet here with the rain showers that came down. 1-2 the count here to Bodie.
Yes, luckily I had a pencil that day. Your pen smeared.
Oh, it was awful. Garrett Anderson's next pitch is outside for a ball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Evan Smith started the game for Wenatchee and kind of got rocked around, and so a quick hook given, and Garrett Anderson now stands to win this if possible. Yeah. And a swing and a miss here by Bodie Yell for the first out in the fifth, and that'll bring up left fielder Kellen Leonard. Our broadcast also brought to you by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop to schedule your time with their full swing S4 widescreen golf simulators at 509-884-4653. And if you're tired of losing golf balls on the actual course, go to the simulator, and chances are you'll be able to play with the same ball the whole time. First pitch to Kellen Leonard misses high and inside for ball 1. Kellen is 1 for 2 with a line out to center, and a double went all the way to the wall and left in his last plate appearance. This pitch swung on and hit hard right off of the glove. Did that go through the webbing?
It looked like it, didn't it?
Rainbowed at third base there. I think that ball went through his glove. That's a base hit, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, that's 3 hard hits by Kellen this game.
He's seeing it well.
Yes. Which is good for him, because he went 0 for 3 in the last game and come back out and swung it hard here. Like you said, amnesia. You got to have amnesia.
Right. Heimbigner steps up with 1 on and 1 out, and this pitch swung on a hit right back to the pitcher. Goes off his glove. Anderson collects and throws in time to get the out. That's a nice job by Garrett on a hard hit ball right back at him.
Yeah, you got to be an athlete up there. He's a good little second baseman too when he's not pitching. He'll be getting his chances in the future.
Back to the top of the order for Eastmont for Tice Llewellyn. Chance to maybe atone for a little bit of the defensive lapse in the last half inning. As Tice steps up, first pitch to him is a ball missing high and away for 1-0 count to Tice, who is 1 for 3 in the game. Also scored a run back in the second. The 1-0 pitch by Garrett Anderson. On the way by the right-hander, curveball does not curve and misses outside for ball 2. Ooh, this pitch looked like it was going to hit him.
Yeah, it did.
Missing inside for ball 3.
So here's one where we've talked about earlier too, is you want to make sure this is a pitch that you can hit real hard if you're going to get the green light on 3-0.
He'll take it, and it's a fastball in for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1.
That's a good take by Tice there. See pitches because Anderson's been throwing extremely well, and momentum's kind of on their side. So, like we've talked about, slow down the game a little bit.
Pitch on the way, swung on, and fouled out of play on the third.
I don't know. That might be fair. Oh, that was close.
When I first looked up, I thought it was going to the left of the light station over here, but no.
That was only about 4 or 5 feet foul.
Yeah, so the count now full to Llewellyn at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our broadcast brought to you by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses. They're building communities. Buying or selling, call Kennedy Real Estate Group. Find them online at KENADYgroup.com. 3-2 pitch to Tice Llewellyn is a curveball. Oh, Garrett Anderson thought it was strike 3. I thought maybe it was strike 3. No, ball 4.
Well, once again, we've talked about Tyson seeing pitches, and what he's just done right now is made them have a mound visit, and it looks like they're going to be going to Joe Skyleman here. It looks like. I don't know if that's the case or not. He pointed over to Joe, but Garrett.
Well, I mentioned to you off the air that they went to Joe between the games and asked, do you have anything left in the tank if you need to throw? And he said, well, I'm a little tired.
Okay, so they're sticking with Garrett here.
Okay. Meanwhile, Valenti Barrios will come to the plate. Valenti got aboard a couple of innings in a row to start it on errors on bunts, and then flew out to center in his last plate appearance. 2 down in the inning, and the pitch swung on it, hit hard, but fouled down the right field line. 0-1. Boy, we've seen some hard hit balls here by Eastmont in this game.
We
that's
have.
for sure.
Yeah, but one thing that, is the most boring thing to do is sit out there as a fielder and see a guy throw ball after ball after ball. And Garrett's a contact pitcher, so he's going to throw balls, and, hey, you guys got to play defense behind me.
Yeah, well, and you appreciate that because, so you got 9 other guys out there. Let them help you.
Right.
1-1 the count to Barrios with Jet Llewellyn waiting on deck in a 6-5 ball game. Wenatchee trying to hold on to the lead here. The pitch is high and inside. A little chin music to Barrios, and the count goes to 2-1. This is a couple of left-handed bats in a row here that Garrett just doesn't look comfortable.
Right.
Pitching to a right-handed or to a left-handed batter.
Yeah.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit hard, and that is going to be a fair ball, and that's going to tie the game at least. And 1 run has scored. They're going to score the second on a 2-out, 2-run double by Valenti Barrios. Oh, we talked about the back-and-forth nature of rivalry games, and that is the case here as Eastmont lost the lead and then got it back, and now we're going to get a pitching change. 7-6 our score. We'll take a 60-second break and come back. We're a long way from over in this one. We'll take a break. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence Health. Come grow with us.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Welcome back once again to Dan White Field as we have a pitching change. And on the mound now for Wenatchee.
It's Branham.
So he will be the 3rd pitcher of record here for Wenatchee in the game. Evan Smith started it. Garrett Anderson did pretty well in his relief work, and now Mr. Branham will take over. Branham in our opener was the shortstop for Wenatchee, Ryan Branham. I saw Leanne Brenham in between the games. Haven't seen Leanne in a while. Happy birthday, by the way, Leanne. She just had her birthday here a couple of days ago. Leanne helped us early on in our broadcast on the NCWLIFE Channel with volleyball coverage. Of course, Hall of Famer for Wenatchee High School. Yep. So Jet Llewellyn will step up here to face Ryan Branham with a runner at second base on a big 2-run double by Barrios. And this pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1 to count to Jet.
Garrett did a great job through 3 1/3 and had a good performance out there on the mound for the Panthers, and come in and gobble up some innings for him when could have been a runaway game.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did a good job of keeping him in the game. And
yeah, he came on in the second inning in relief of Evan Smith and induced a sac fly and got a double play to get out of the inning. This pitch swung on and fouled away, and the count quickly 0-2 on Jet Llewellyn. Jet is 2 for 2 in the game with a base hit, double, RBI, run scored, walked in his last plate appearance. Man, the pitch to him here is a curveball, and that is ripped to center field, and that's going to plate another run. As rounding third and motoring home is Valente Barrios, and an RBI for Jet Llewellyn. It's now an 8-6 lead for Eastmont.
Jet did a really good job of keeping his hands inside the ball there.
Boy, and you can really see that from our location here behind home plate.
Yeah, kind of a slice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Just kind of an inside-out swing. Taking the first pitch is Michael Singleton from Ryan Branham. 1-0 the count. Well, Wenatchee came back and took the lead momentarily in the top half of this inning with 4 runs in, but Eastmont has countered with 3 so far in this frame. Pitch here misses for ball 2.
Back and forth. That's what you could expect out of this rivalry, right?
2-0 pitch on the way is outside, missing for ball 3. Inning began with a strikeout by Bodiel. Base hit by Leonard. Ground out back to the mound for Carter Heimbigner. And then a walk to Llewellyn. And now a walk to Michael Singleton on 4 pitches. Valente Barrios with a big 2-run double down the right field line. RBI single for Jet Llewellyn. And that's the 3 runs so far. 2 aboard now as Llewellyn goes down to second base. Jet does. Singleton's at first. Skylar Bryant now steps up. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. This pitch misses high for ball 1. Ryan Branham having a hard time finding the strike zone right now after his third pitch in relief was ripped to center field for an RBI single.
Zipped right by his head too.
Yeah, it did. Everybody runs back to their bags. Not a move by the pitcher anywhere.
First baseman was coming over trying to get a sneak behind pick there.
All right. 1-0 the count to Bryant. Branham ready in the pitch, swung on, and a fly ball to left field, back on it. And this will go all the way to the fence. Going to add some more offensive numbers here for Eastmont. 1 run scores. Here comes the throw home, and it gets away from the catcher. And now running down to third on the play will be Skylar Bryant. 2 RBIs for Bryant on the double. As Jet Llewellyn scores, Michael Singleton scores. It's now 10-6 Eastmont.
That ball was hit really well there by Skyler, and good throw by Joe Skylerman to the plate. Just, I think the ball ended up hitting off of
the base runner.
The base runner, yeah, Michael's
Singleton.
feet. You know, that was one where you were hoping not for a collision at the plate there. Where in the big leagues, I think you're going to get a collision.
Right. First pitch to Kyle Smith is taken for a strike. 0-1 to count. He's the 9th man to come to the plate here for Eastmont in this 5th frame.
He's having a day. 3 for 5 on the day.
This pitch swung on a chop back over the mound. Could be trouble. Shortstop Skylerman over, fields and throws it into the dugout. It bounces off the front of the fence in front of the dugout. So another run's going to score for Eastmont. It's 11-6.
And I think I give that a base hit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a tough play by Skylerman.
RBI for Kyle Smith. Just a bounding ball. I thought maybe Ryan Branham was going to have a chance to glove that, but nope, didn't happen. And then Skylerman in no man's land out there behind the bag at second, running to his right and then trying to throw with the right hand. First pitch to Bodie Yell, who started the inning off, is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0 the count. So Eastmont's battered around after giving up 4 runs at the top of this frame. They have 6 back, swing and a foul back by Bodie, and the count even now to Yell at 1-1 strike. Our broadcast also brought to you by Les Schwab. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously every time you stop by. 1-1 the count to Yell.
What a great way to respond by Eastmont.
Yeah, all the momentum was on Wenatchee's side.
Yeah.
Pitch misses away for a ball. 2-1 the count to Bodie. And began with Bodie striking out, so it seemed that Wenatchee was just really on the money all the way around. But then things rattled here. The next pitch is taken for a strike, and the count even at 2-2 strikes.
And going back to Tice Llewellyn, he had that key walk that we talked about too, where he saw a lot of pitches, and Garrett was starting to get a little bit tired, and they made their visit and decided to stay with him. And but seeing pitches when pitchers are tired is so critical. And some people may look back at it and say, "Oh, it's just a walk," but it was a
big walk,
huge walk at that.
Pitch is high and inside. The throw down to second base. The throw was in time, but in safely on the stolen base is Kyle Smith. Count meanwhile runs full to Bodie Yell at 3-2.
Good throw there by
that was
James
a great
Butler.
Throw. 3-2 pitch on the way, high and inside for ball 4. It's a second walk given up by Ryan Branham in relief. And we'll have a little meeting on the mound here with catcher and pitcher. So Eastmont continues to bat around here in this 5th frame.
Having Jace Travato come out and run for Bodie.
Get some more speed on the base paths for Eastmont.
And give Bodie a little bit of, he's had a lot of time to sit back and relax as a pitcher, but no reason to go out there and get your legs all burnt out running when you got a lot to focus on the mound.
Well, and suddenly Eastmont, is 6 outs away from getting a win here.
Yes.
Kellen Leonard now up for Eastmont. 2 for 3 in the ball game. This pitch swung on a hit down the right field line. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. And into second with an RBI double is Kellen Leonard, and his hit parade continues here in this one.
Yeah, once again, we talked about how hard Kellen hit the ball all day, and That's four well-hit balls. And I would say that was probably the worst hit ball that he's had, and he ends up with a double.
Yeah.
That's the game of baseball.
It is.
Even though that ball was hit well, and he did a good job going the other way with it. And
runners at second and third here for Carter Heimbigner, who takes the first pitch to him, 0-1 the count. He's looking for his first hit in this game. Walked and scored, flew out, and grounded out earlier in this frame. 0-1 pitch, swung on and popped up, foul on the first base side, now to play, and the count goes to 0-2.
Yeah, you see Carter here is shortening up on the bat a little bit too, and
the 1-2 pitch by Branham, swung on a chop towards the left side, and the shortstop Skylerman fumble with the baseball, and everybody's safe, and another run's going to score. 13-6 now. Advantage Eastmont. Bodie Yell, it's Travado that comes home to score for Yell running. Meanwhile, Kellen Leonard moves down to third base on the play. Heimbigner winds up at first.
See if we get some movement by Carter here. He's a good runner, and see if they can't score another run off of a first and third situation or get Carter in scoring position either way.
Pitch by Brandon misses outside to Tice Llewellyn, 1-0 the count. 13th man to come to the plate here in this fifth frame for Eastmont. The 1-0 pitch is curveball missing inside for ball two.
That had a lot of late movement to it.
Yeah, it did.
Just got to start that a little bit further outside, and that's a great pitch.
The 2-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 2-1 to count to Tice Llewellyn. Tice 1 for 3 in the ball game, has scored a couple of runs for Eastmont as they have opened it up here in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch on the way, swung on and hit hard but foul up the first baseline. And a count even to Llewellyn at 2-2 strikes. Our broadcast also brought to you by Sangster Motors, family owned and operated home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. We talked about what we have coming up next week. Saturday, April 29th, the Technoplex Youth Parade. Broadcast live here on the NCWLIFE Channel. This pitch is a strike called, and gone looking is Tice Llewellyn, but the damage done for Eastmont as they played 8 runs in the inning, and they lead at 13-6. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
Owen Irvin, Matt Butler, and Thomas Ivy do up here for Wenatchee, and they're part of the 6 as they now find themselves on the bottom of the scoreboard where they were just on top of it. It seemed like moments ago. 13-6 is our score as we head to the 6th inning, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Second end of our doubleheader after Eastmont won the opener 5-0. A lot of scoring in this one, a lot of crooked numbers up on that scoreboard. Irvin steps in. The first pitch from Bodie Yell on the way, and that's a fastball. Cued off the end of the bat. Tough play for the second baseman. Heimbigner over, will throw, and in time.
Carter's been clutch all year long at second base for him. He's been playing great. The last doubleheader that we had, he started off the second game with 9 straight outs, didn't he?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. He was playing keep away. He wasn't allowing anybody else to have a part of the game.
Yep.
Matt Butler steps up. The first pitch to him from Cody Yell on the way, and that's a fastball missing low and outside for ball one. 1-0 the count. Matt's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs to the left side of the infield to third base and to the shortstop. The 1-0 pitch misses high for a ball. 2-0. Well, we're talking about the remaining schedule after tonight. Eastmont will host West Valley on Tuesday and then be at West Valley next Friday with a doubleheader. They will finish the season during Apple Blossom Week at Sunnyside and then host Sunnyside. This pitch is a strike called. And the count now 3-1 on Matt Butler.
This is where it's super important for the pitcher to make sure you go right at guys. The
pitch is swung on and grounded on a hop to the third baseman. And Singleton's throw is in time for the out.
We've talked a lot about how walks will kill you. And if you get in a situation here where you've got a 7-run lead and you start walking guys, it's defense falls asleep and errors start happening. So it's really important that they go right at them.
First pitch misses high and inside to Thomas Ivy. Ivy got things going in that 5th inning. And a 4-run 5th frame for Wenatchee on a walk with 1 out. This pitch swung on and fouled away. Evens the count to Ivy at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, we go back to the start of the 4th inning for Wenatchee as they were behind at that point 5-0. And it was a leadoff hit batsman that started a rally as Connor Christensen was hit by a pitch, and then as he went up the first baseline, screamed towards his own dugout and flexed his way up to the base. And that really seemed to ignite things for Wenatchee. So they got 2 runs in that frame and then scored 4 more in the 5th on a 3-run double by Evan Smith, the big hit in that inning. They took the lead at that point. It looked like all the momentum was on their side, but then Eastmont countered with an 8 spot in their part of the 5th. We're in the 6th now, and it's 13-6. And a 3-2 full count here on Thomas Ivy with 2 outs for Wenatchee. Pitch is a curveball missing away for ball 4. That is the first walk given up by Bodie Yell in relief, and back to the top of the order here for Wenatchee for Brock Toughness.
Good job by Ivy on that. Getting yourself a walk, make something happen. As we've said, walks are the enemy of the pitcher.
This pitch is swung on and grounded to the shortstop. Good job staying down on it, and a strong throw across the base. And that'll do it for Wenatchee here in the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 13-6. Eastmont on top. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, man. How's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Welcome back once again. New pitcher on the mound here for Wenatchee. Will be their 4th pitcher of the game. Nolan Godfrey will now take over for Wenatchee in a 13-6 ball game. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, providing outstanding value and service since 1962. Also by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth in the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. Along with Brandon Schmitten and Eric Granstrom with you. Been a back-and-forth ball game with Eastmont taking the early advantage 5-0 in the 2nd. Wenatchee came back, scored 2 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, took the lead. But then Eastmont countered in the bottom of the 4th with 8 runs. That's where we are right now as we head to the bottom of the 5th. They scored the 8 runs as we're now in the 6th. And Valente Barrios will start things off here for Eastmont.
He had a big double to score a couple runs to start that scoring spree for him.
It was was that all with 2 outs for Eastmont?
It was.
Oh my gosh. That got by me without paying attention. This pitch misses away as Godfrey again taking over on the mound here for Wenatchee, falls behind Barrios. The 2-0 pitch on the way is high for ball 3.
Yeah, Leonard got on with 1 out and then got the second out of Heimbigner, and then
it was all just run and score, and after that, holy cow, all 8 runs coming with 2 outs. This pitch misses outside for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk given up to lead off the inning for Barrios, and that'll bring up Jet Llewellyn. Jet has been aboard every time he's been to the plate. He's had a couple of singles, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs, and he also threw a walk in the middle of all that. And the first pitch here is a strike taken, 0-1 the count. Nolan Godfrey finds the strike zone. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Eastmont on top, 13-6 here on the NCWLIFE Channel. The 0-1 pitch on the way to the plate is getting away from the catcher all the way to the backstop, and down to second goes Barrios. Pitch in the dirt, call that a wild pitch.
That's the first time
if you ask James Butler, he'll say, I should have stopped that one.
Yeah,
I should have stopped that one.
Yeah. I think that may be the first pass ball or wild pitch that we've seen today, isn't it?
Nope, second.
Second?
Yep. There were 2 on earlier in this game that both moved up on a wild pitch. This pitch is a curveball in for a strike, and a count, a ball and 2 strikes. So you can find that on my score sheet here. Yeah, it was for Wenatchee in that 4th inning.
Oh, okay.
Yep. 1-2 pitch, swung on and grounded to the second baseman, over to his right to field and throw in time. Good play there. Down to third base goes Barrios on the play. 1 out for Eastmont. That'll bring up Michael Singleton. Well, this is where, as a coach, you want to plate this run. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. You want to plate this run because you never know when the situation comes up in another game where you got to have that run.
Right.
Swing and a miss here by Singleton.
And this is where Michael ended up scoring that run in the second inning when he had that sac fly, and we talked about the importance of getting that run there. So same thing here. We're in a situation, 1 out. Michael's looking to get a fly ball in the air.
Pitch goes past the catcher all the way to the backstop, and Barrios in a 13-6 ball game stays close, with Coach Hoff saying, just hang out. Only 1 out.
Yeah, and Coach Hoff's philosophy here is to get a run-scoring ground ball. Because the infield's playing back. I thought they were up, but if the infield's playing back, get a run-scoring ground ball. If they're playing up, you want to get a fly ball to the outfield to get a sac fly and get a run. Either way, you want to get a run.
Pitch missed away, so it's 2-1 now to Singleton. Godfrey ready, and the pitch swung on, and a fly ball to right center field. How about just get it past everybody?
Yeah.
All the way to the fence. Rounding first, heading for second is Michael Singleton with an RBI stand-up double.
That will get the job done.
Make it 14-6. Well, and as you look at it, too, Eastmont with a run in, they get 2 more and the game's over.
Correct. Yeah, and that's got to feel good to Michael too, because that's his first hit that he's had on the day, and he came into the game batting .528.
Yeah.
Or to the doubleheader batting .528. So he's not used to be getting out.
First pitch here to Skylar Bryant, misses in the dirt outside. Nice stop by Butler. 1-0 the count to Skylar. 2 for 3 in the ball game with a double, couple of RBIs, a run scored. This pitch is swung on and hit back and foul, and count evens to Bryant at 1 ball and 1 strike. We do have, I forgot to mention that we have soccer coming up in the middle of all the apple blossom stuff we have going on. Boys soccer, Wenatchee hosting Moses Lake, and that's turning out to be kind of an interesting matchup with the top of the Big Nine standings as they get towards the end of their season. This pitch is a strike.
Said he went.
Apparently he swung, according to the home plate umpire. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Skylar Bryant. But Tuesday, May 2nd, Moses Lake at Wenatchee here on the NCWLIFE Channel. And the Classic Chassis Parade presented by Les Schwab will be on Friday, May 5th. And the Smilk Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 6th, all right here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel. This pitch misses just barely outside. Evens the count to Bryant at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The spring does not make us feel like it's almost May, does it?
No.
Gosh, this weather.
No, yeah, we're another spring where I think we're just skipping spring. We're going from winter to summer.
Right. Kind of like we went from summer to winter this year.
There was no fall.
Yeah.
We had so many trees in our neighborhood that didn't have a chance to lose their leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just went, it was hot, and then boom, it's snowing.
Yeah. And it never stopped.
The poor trees were like, what do we do? What do we do? 3-2 count to Bryant here. And the pitch is outside for ball 4.
My cousin sent me a picture today of Mission Ridge got another 3 inches of fresh powder today.
They keep extending their season.
Yeah.
It's the longest season they've had.
Correct.
I think.
Yep. Yeah, it goes through the end of April. So April 30th.
Well, and the way it continues, they could probably go into May. Although the Forest Service permit they have won't allow that.
Yep.
Kyle Smith steps up and takes the first pitch outside in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Again, what a great day he's had. What is he bat? What is he? 4 for 5 on the day?
Yeah.
Oh no, 4 for 6 on the day.
Yeah.
4 for 6 and at least 1 base on balls.
There's 2 for 3 in the opener with a couple of runs.
And here he's
and
2 for 3.
2 for 3 in this one with 2 RBIs and a run. 1-1 to count to him here. The pitch misses away for a ball.
It's always good to see when kids work hard and finally get their chance and they do well. It's good for the kids.
Smith just hangs out in the right-handed batter's box. The pitch to him is outside for ball 3.
A lot of times when you don't get very many opportunities, you get antsy and start doing silly things, and he hasn't done that at all today. He's been very patient.
And feel like I got to do something. I got to do something.
You got to press.
Right. 3-1 pitch is outside for ball 4. So Nolan Godfrey has walked the bases loaded here. And Eastmont is a base hit away from maybe winning this ball game here in short order in the 6th. There's a 10-run rule in effect. And it is a 14-6 ball game right now. As Is this Bodie?
This is Bodie,
okay,
yep.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. Bodie steps up. Bodie yell, and the first pitch bounces in for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Can I give a shout out to my family?
Absolutely.
Hey, guys. Hope I'm not making you embarrassed.
Well, you should have been tuning in earlier. I mean, that's what, this guy. Pitch swung on and hit in the air to center field.
That should get a run in.
That will be a tag, and coming home on the play will be Michael Singh. And it is a 15-6 contest. Give an RBI to Bodiel on the sacrifice fly. Well, that was that sacrifice we were talking about a few batters ago, and they finally got it done.
Yep.
Skylar Bryant ends up down at third base on the play. Kyle Smith stays at first, and that'll bring up left fielder Kellen Leonard. Leonard, a good day at the plate as well. He's 3 for 4 with a couple of doubles. 2 outs in the inning. Ooh. Check swing foul, and got a piece of catcher James Butler.
Yeah, and every ball Kellen's hit in this game has been hard too.
Ooh, man, yeah, he's been scorching it. James Butler given a little moment here by our home plate umpire, Nathan Hahn, to kind of check himself before he wrecks himself. Yeah, you talk about miserable. Second inning of a doubleheader.
Yeah.
That's a 23 or 21 run game right now between the two teams. This pitch swung on, and that's going to end the ball game as the Eastmont Wildcats 10-run the Wenatchee Panthers by a final of 16-6. Pour on the offense here for Eastmont. And by the way, that single for Kellen Leonard, his 4th hit of the game, his 2nd RBI of the game, and Eastmont will take both ends of the twin bill here today in this final game, 16-6, 5-0 in the first game of the twin bill. Brandon Schmitten, thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you,
I
Eric.
appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun.
Hello to the family. Hello, Dylan. And thanks for watching here on the NCWLIFE Channel. It's going to wrap it up for our broadcast. And I want to thank our crew here, including Malcolm Whitehall and Matthew Moore back in the studios. Our line producers on site here, Dan Kuntz and Josiah Davison. Our van producer is Tucker Wagner. And on cameras today, Matthew Ortiz. And welcome to Tim Bronowski, brand new to the broadcast, and Tim got a whale of a doubleheader here with Eastmont taking both ends of the twin bill. Join us again for more sports coming up with the Moses Lake and Wenatchee soccer on Tuesday, May 2nd, and then we'll have that youth parade, the Technoplex Youth Parade, a week from tomorrow here as we celebrate Apple Blossom Festival on the NCWLIFE Channel. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching tonight's live coverage of local high school sports on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for Youth. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.